by Holly Gleason. Cleveland, Ohio, Rachel Brown is having a bad day, car troubles that won't resolve, a vacation that's going to have to start late, a summer that's quickly evaporating. But as she sits under the pavilion at Kane Park in Cleveland Heights, a single tear rolls down her cheek as she watches Lyle Lovett and his large band. It's not because the day has won, but more because of how much music means to the fiery flame-dressed vocalist/pianist/songwriter/band leader. Looking at the lanky Texan, she whispers, "It's all just so good." That's how much music means to the woman who's just released Look Who's Back with her band, the Beatnik Playboys, on her own label. But it's also how Clevelanders in the know feel about Brown's country/roots/blues amalgamation. Part audacious musicality, part vibrant sense of vocal technique, the 47-year-old single mother of two, who is engaged to plain dealer pop music critic Chuck Yarborough, understands songs from the emotional underpinnings of a life lived on its own terms. With so many responsibilities, there's no time to shut down, or give in to it, she says with a laugh days later on the phone from her sunny writing room. "I'm inspired by my situation, or somebody else's, and I try to find the emotion, or lesson in it. I write very literally and very simply, but people can take that to a place where they make these songs their own." For Brown, that path starts in Medina, as the child of a gas station-owning mechanic and a mother who raised organic vegetables and cattle for the family to eat. As Southern Baptists, her parents permitted no rock and roll in the house. But the weekly jam sessions at the family's barn sparked her. "We'd listen to that hard country stuff, beer drinking, heartbreak, then we'd go to church." Brown recalls of her father's love of George Jones, Ray Price, and Merle Haggard. "Growing up Southern Baptist, I hated the thinking, but the music. My grandfather was a coal miner, and we'd go visit in West Virginia for 3-day revivals. I didn't believe what they believed, but the emotion behind the music really hit me." It wasn't long before Brown was playing every Moose Lodge and Eagles club within driving distance. Though her parents didn't drink, they'd drive their 12- and 13-year-old daughter to bars so she could sit in with the bands. When she wasn't staying up late, she practiced. "My childhood is a freaking cassette tape of me practicing and practicing," she says, still laughing. "I'd go down to the barn with my critters, set up the boombox and record. I loved those drinking, pour me on the bar stool kinds of ballads, though clearly I had no idea. Maybe it was muscle memory, an empathy bone, but however Brown did it, she was connecting." During the country boom of the 80s and 90s, she was opening for Haggard and Patty Loveless, or headlining local juke joints. For a wildly musical free spirit who wants to sing Wanda Jackson, Jones's The Grand Tour and Emmylou Harris Honky Tonk, the human jukeboxery began to wear. These were huge places, she remembers. You'd have 1,500, 2,000 people who'd put on cowboy hats and denim. The energy was something, but it's about music. So, if you're someone who likes the human experience, it's banging your head against the wall. Rachel Brown quit. She went to the house, sat it out 2 years. But for people like Brown, it never quits them. Slowly, the middle school music teacher began playing out as a duo with Bill Watson. They added a guitarist, then a percussion player. The thinking was simple: let's just play what we wanna play. That's always been the theme of this band, and it's why we're still together, she insists. Renegade songwriter Nathan Bell, whose Whiskey You Win closes side 1 of Look Who's Back, concurs. "I've used them as my band on loan, and there's no limit to what they can do, but intelligent limits to what each player does do." Recorded at Painesville's Quixotic Suma Recorders, the album boasts a sense of emergence. Balancing her truest self with myriad influences, the songs swing from the sassy rejoinder title track to the yearning Texas moon, from the caressing Hey My Child to the sensual longing coloring the numbers band's No Lock No Key. "I'd never recorded Hey My Child, because it was really for my son. As a single mother with very little money whose ex-husband died when the kids were 3 and 7, it came from a really dark time. He was in the middle school when she wrote it, and he's a senior now. So I asked if I could share it. She's such a joyful pianist, local folk icon Alex Bevan enthuses, but it's the heart between her left and her right hands that touches you. But even more, it's her voice, the phosphorescence of it. You feel each note she sings as your own essence. I don't know about all that, Brown counters when faced with the praise. I'm not a smooth operator. I'm clumsy and awkward, and I trip over my words. There's a lot unpolished tab.